Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us again at Hectic Homestead. Today I have Corinne with me. She's going to help me show you guys how we are going to wash our eggs that we've collected for the last couple of days. So I usually collect our eggs multiple times a day. When I go out in the morning to do our morning routine, I grab some. I usually go out sometime in the afternoon and then also in the evening. Most of the time, my chickens usually lay their eggs in the morning, and that's usually when most chickens do as well. They don't usually lay close to the evening when the sun starts to go down. They definitely don't lay after the light goes away when the sunset comes. Usually, hens only lay eggs every 25 hours, and that's usually the first 2 years of their life. After that, they go down in their production, and certain breeds are better at producing than others. So we have Isa Brown egg layers, and they are good at producing eggs. They've been pretty consistent. We have 11 laying hens at this point, and we get about 4 to 5 eggs a day, and some of that has to do with the weather and the change of season. So when there's less light in the daytime, with the days getting shorter because of the fall and winter and the cold weather, they don't lay as much. Chickens don't lay as much for many reasons. If you look at them the wrong way, they stop laying. I had somebody make a joke about them not laying because you cut the grass in a different direction. They also don't lay because of stress. So if somebody like a 2-year-old is chasing after them in the yard, they will stop laying for a couple of days too. But usually, like in the beginning years, they lay every day, sometimes every other day. And I'll go ahead and show you my eggs that I have now. These are the eggs that I have here to wash. These are the ones I've collected, I think, over the last 3 days. So sometimes I get like a big haul of eggs one day, and then the next day I get like nothing. And then the next day I have a bunch of eggs. So it kind of goes in waves at this point during the year. If you can see, this one here is from my bantam egg. It's really small compared to like this one here is from one of the Isa Browns, which is our production. They call them production layers. The one here is from our Easter egger. It's kind of like a pinkish color, and so is this one here. And I think this is from Lola, my one chicken. She lays speckled eggs. If you can see that. So I have a hen that lays green eggs. They're like greenish blue eggs, but she's not laying right now. She's like hiding eggs from me, or she's just not laying because of the weather. So I have a little friend over here. I don't know what his problem is, but he's been acting super strange all day, barking at me to want to go outside every 5 minutes, and then I let him outside and he wants to come back in. Huxley, I don't know what his deal is. And if you look out here, you can actually see all my girls free ranging out there, enjoying the gloomy weather for today. So some more fun facts about eggs. Every egg has an air pocket in it. So if they float, that means the air pocket has gotten bigger and they're no good to eat anymore. So for example, if you free range your chickens and you find some random eggs lying around, then if you want to know if they're any good, yes, you are a tiger. This is Corinne's favorite exercise here. So look through the pictures on the Google Home Hub. Anyway, so if your eggs float, they are no good. Don't eat them. So going back to egg color, you can tell what color a chicken is going to lay by the color behind their ear. The feathers behind their ear are a certain color. I'm going to go ahead and turn the water on here. I usually make my water pretty warm, and this is how I clean eggs. Everybody does it differently. I get it pretty warm, and then I literally just run it underneath of the water and get any debris off of it. And there's also something called a bloom that is on the egg when the chicken lays the egg. It's a coating that goes over it to protect it from microbial, like bacteria and whatnot. So anyway, the bloom, it's wet when they first lay it, and it dries relatively quickly, and then it protects the egg from anything getting inside of it, because I think the shells are actually technically porous, so they can get disease in them. But once you wash them, you wash that bloom off, and you have to refrigerate them. So I basically, like I said, I just run them under warm water and rub my hands over them like this. And then I lay them out on a clean paper towel. I let them air dry, and then I stick them in our reusable egg crates. So eggs can sit on the counter for, I think, up to 5 to 6 weeks without being washed, and then I think they're good another 5 to 6 weeks. I could be wrong about that. See how those speckles are there? They're so pretty. And they, obviously, you can leave them sitting out on the counter. They make all different cool little contraptions where you put the new eggs on the top and they kind of spiral down on the bottom. I want one of those one day. I'll link a picture to that and show you that in the video. But I can't really have many things sitting on the counter that are fragile, because I have my kids who will come in here and break eggs. We have lots of broken eggs. I don't know why. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and wash the rest of these eggs. I let them air dry, like I said, and then I stick them in the fridge. And I'll show you how I rotate them shortly. So I've gotten everything washed at this point, because this had the dirty eggs on it, which has a little bit of poop on it. So I usually just throw that in the compost bin. These are the containers that we use. I have 3 of these. They're funny. I like them. I got them from some girl on a Facebook group that was selling them. I'm sure you can buy these on Amazon without the little sayings on them, but I got 3 of them with different sayings on them. So usually what I do is all of these eggs I will put in here, and I mark it with a dry erase marker, because I know what eggs to use first, but I can't promise that my husband does. And then I'll stick those, if we had another one in the fridge, I would go ahead and put these on the bottom, and then use obviously switch out the lids with that say use first, and make sure that the other ones get used first, the older eggs. So I just wanted to go over a few more facts about eggs. That a chicken is born with almost all the eggs that she's going to produce. Obviously, they don't have the shells on them. They need calcium for hard shells, so you have to make sure they have some sort of oyster shell or something like that they can have at their leisure to make sure that their shells are hard. So chicken's egg yolk will change color depending on their diet. So if they free range and they eat a healthy diet, the egg yolk will actually be pretty dark in color. So the lighter the egg yolk, the less healthy their diet is. Usually chickens don't start laying until when they're 20 weeks of age, and that is the production laying chickens. So like your Isa Browns, or there's a bunch of other different ones that are marketed for production laying. But for example, we used to have a Silky, he was a rooster. You do not need a rooster for your chicken to lay eggs. They just need a rooster to fertilize the eggs, so they will still lay, no problem whatsoever, every day, every other day. Without a rooster, you do not need one. But the rooster will fertilize the eggs, and you can't even tell that your eggs are fertilized unless you really look. The egg yolk will have a circle in it. like a little dot, and then there'll be a circle around that, and that's how you can tell if they're fertilized or not. But anyway, we had to get rid of our roosters because they were really loud, and we're technically not supposed to have them. But again, the hens will lay without a rooster. They do not need one. Some of the chickens, the hens that lay eggs, will not lay for almost a year of age, until they're a year of age. For example, his silkies, and they are terrible egg layers, but they're really cute and funny looking. I'll put a picture of our silkies. Our silkies in here and show you what they used to look like. Sven and Olaf. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how to clean your eggs. If you have any questions or comments, or you think I mentioned something that might not be correct, then let me know. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much. See you again soon.